By late 2024, the drone war in Ukraine had fundamentally changed. The new objective was no longer just winning battles on the front, but inflicting strategic paralysis deep inside Russian territory. This new doctrine aimed for what planners termed strategic neutralization. The goal was to degrade Russia's ability to sustain its offensive by attacking the economic and logistical engines of the war effort. The campaign targeted a wide array of Russian strategic assets. Oil refineries, military production facilities, and critical command and logistics nodes were now all considered legitimate targets. Central to this new phase was a new generation of long-range drones. The FP-1, introduced in late 2024, could deliver a 120-kilogram warhead to targets up to 1,600 kilometers away. Production of FP-1 quickly scaled, with output exceeding 100 units per day by mid-2025. This industrial capacity enabled a sustained campaign of deep strikes against Russian infrastructure. Soon, an upgraded version, the FP-2, was designed for even deeper penetration with a range of approximately 2,700 kilometers when fitted with an additional integrated fuel tank. Other drones in the arsenal included the UJ-22 Airborne with an 800-kilometer range used in earlier attacks, as well as the AQ-400 Scythe, the UJ-26 Bober, and the AN-196 Liuti. To identify these high-value targets, Ukraine employed systems like the American-made VBAT, a long-range surveillance drone used for reconnaissance missions deep over Russian territory. The primary targets were Russia's oil facilities. Strikes hit refineries including Ilsky, Gazprom Neft in Moscow, Syzran, and the Tenneco complex, impacting Russia's fuel production capacity directly. Oil depots were also hit in Taganrog and Armavir. Even the Krasny Yar pumping station in Volgograd was targeted, disrupting the flow of crude oil through the Russian pipeline network. The impact on Russia's economy was severe. By May 2026, its oil production had seen a continuous 6-month decline. The strikes had triggered Russia's worst fuel crisis in decades. Widespread fuel shortages and rationing were reported across the country. According to President Zelensky, Russia lost an estimated $2.3 billion in revenue in March 2026 alone. Beyond fuel, the drone campaign systematically degraded Russian military logistics. Strikes targeted defense plants in Rostov Oblast and vital air defense systems located in occupied Crimea. Attacks also disrupted transport infrastructure across the Kerch Strait, making the resupply of forces in Crimea slower and significantly more costly for the Russian military command. The maritime domain was not spared. In July 2026, Ukrainian strikes on Russian vessels and tankers in the Sea of Azov led to a full suspension of shipping, affecting over 90 vessels. This blockade effectively trapped parts of Russia's shadow fleet, a network of ships used to transport its oil, demonstrating a new dimension of Ukraine's disruptive capabilities. The rapid scaling of Ukraine's defense industry was the key enabler. Companies like Firepoint were instrumental in the mass production of these long-range precision strike drones. According to Deputy Defense Minister Mstislav Bonik, Ukraine's defense industry had the potential to produce up to 20 million military drones annually, provided sufficient funding was available. This campaign marked a new chapter in warfare. It demonstrated how a determined nation, through technological innovation and strategic focus, could inflict significant economic and logistical pain on a larger adversary.